everybody. We've got some early morning TTI League action here. Been a while since I've done one of these, but always a good time. We've got a fun one here today. I've been looking forward to doing this one. We got Weyoun98, who's been gracious enough to help stream some of these matchups. Playing Han 1 green, and Sobek, who's played in a lot of these top cuts on Qi'ra ECL. Sobek's also the winner of the 5-person Taiwan planetary qualifier with Qi'ra ECL. So, all right. And they're here. Let's take a look at the deck list while they shuffle up. This isn't my units on green. I haven't been keeping up with the standard list on where Han green is now, but this one's got some very interesting stuff, and it might all be standard by this point. But either way, like, it's really interesting. It's definitely more pilot focused, which I know is where they've gone. 3 Chewies, 2 Poes, 2 Hans. He's also on 3 Marauders, which I haven't been seeing a ton of recently. 2 Cad Banes, 1 Luke for the Ewing targets. Only 2 Hans in the main. No emphasis in the main, which is interesting. Looks like he's got 1 in the sideboard, though. On the other side, this is Sobek's list, which is not too far off from where my Qi'ra ECL is. I like this. It's tight. It's got all the good stuff. 2 Traders in the main, I think is, let's see. Yeah, Bamboozle's not in the main deck there for Weyoun, so we could definitely get blown up by Traders game 1. Although game 2, he's probably going to have those Bamboozles. And also got Confiscates on the board. Sobek also has, he's got 3 Long Pikes, 3 Gunships, 2 Gideons. Yeah, this just looks like a solid list. All the good stuff. I just want to take a look at the bracket. Are they waiting for me to give them the go ahead? Oh. Alright, so apparently Sobek's list has 49 cards, and so they just decided to add 1 at random from the sideboard, which seems like a fine way to do things. Alright, so winner of this one gets to play Mr. K on Wedge Blue. Alright. This one definitely could go either way. As Qi'ra, I feel favored, but I also feel like there's lots of chances for Han to just, go off. And then Sobek just didn't draw a 2-drop, and then top decks 2/2 drops on turn 2. But he's got resupply here, which is real nice. Gets him into Devastating Gunship next turn, which can immediately clear the L3. Okay, top target. That must have been the 1 card out of the sideboard. One second. Let me get my phone so I can pull up chat. All right, Sobek's action. He's got to play around like the existence of pilots. All right, he looks like he's going to say, take the route of just killing the L3 and saying, if you have a pilot, I'll deal with it some other way. And luckily, Weyoun does not have a pilot. In fact, Weyoun, Weyoun does have. It looks like he already went to 5 from 4. I was gonna say I don't think he ramped, so he can now play out. He can play Waylay here. Oh, what else is he gonna play? Looks like he doesn't have anything else, so effectively wasted a card there on the Han resource, and then drew a Chewy this turn. Chewy would have been nice to see last turn. Sobek finds the barrage. This is looking real good for Sobek at this point. But I mean, it really is probably going to depend on what happens with the Ewing this turn, because I imagine that's going to be the play and not Chewy. Yeah, no. Sobek effectively forcing him into it with this ECL. If you're not sure what happened there, he goes ECL, ambush first, and then that leaves the Falcon with enough health left that it can be killed by the one played. All right, Weyoun goes to 6. Gonna get met immediately by the Qi'ra flip. All right, looks like Weyoun is gonna go for blue leader here instead of going for Ewing play. But yeah, both these units are just gonna get blown up by barrage next turn. Top target coming down here. Usually not in the game 1. All right, so Sobek's now at 7. Still a couple turns off from Avenger. But right now, he's just going to play defensive. That gunship's hidden for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 this turn. Potentially 9 if he decides to shield it, which he could. All right, well, he's going to spark. Probably Avenger, maybe Fell is the take, I think. Once Avenger lands, there's really not much that Weyoun can do. But even outside of that, like this gunship is going to be a real force. All right, 4 for something out of the row. Gonna be tech. Okay. And that's, I mean, that is going to give Weyoun a chance to maybe get back into this game. Ooh, second barrage picked up. While non-pike going into the resource row. Yeah. All right, Weyoun picks up a Waylay here. Which, if you want, could be a way to remove that gunship. Looks like he's thinking about putting a falcon into the resource row, which is always a nice surprise with tech. If Weyoun does resource here, he's at 7, which means he can play this Ewing. And if Ewing can find like the Luke, that's an out to the gunship that also puts a threat on board. So that would be a very nice thing to hit, but I mean, it's one card. Oh, he's going to resource the Ewing. Interesting. Hey, wait, you guys can hear me, right? You should be able to. Okay. All right, sorry. All right, so Waylay comes down along with the Falcon. Sobek goes for an alternate play, which is, Long Pike. Now let's see what Weyoun can do. He's on 9 resources. He's got Barrage in hand, which is looking pretty tempting at the moment. Weyoun going to keep the Falcon around. Let's see. The Falcon resource actually matters a lot here. Without it, we would be able to go up to 9 and then tack out the Ewing reinforcement or any other 7 that you might have in there. But Sobek's action here. Barrage is not bad. I don't know what else he plays. Maybe he plays Reinforcement Walker. Yeah, it's just going to be Barrage. So it's going to be 6 damage. My guess is kill Falcon 2 on tech. Maybe he goes kill tech, but you can kill tech with the attack. All right, Weyoun has a action here. Seven resources ready. All right, Falcon comes down. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Lompike goes, kills tech, shields the Falcon because he knows he's going to fell the dragon right away. Weyoun's feeling real good about this position, or at least I would be if I was there. Going into 10 resources now. He's got 5 cards in hand to Weyoun's 2, plus the Lompike on the board. He's only taking 8 damage, which, I mean, granted, with ECL means a lot more than with Data Vault, but still, like, this is a very good spot. And then, yeah, just gonna, foul that CAD, and then bring back the Long Pike, play a gunship, shield it. I don't think he needs to even resource. I mean, maybe going to 11 is fine here, but I mean, realistically, staying at 10 is not going to hurt you. The only thing going to 11 enables in this hand is like Vigilance plus Traitorous. All right, well, you better have something good in that resource row. Gonna start with a Spark here. Might have to just be Walker. That's probably the biggest threat. Maybe it's Vader, depending on what you're planning to play in. Yeah, Walker. And now Sobek's just gonna start hitting base here. Traders take the Falcon. Two. Pike Sentinel, shield it. Hit for 4 more. You might as well just call it here. That's not the draws that you needed. And 6, 11. Yeah, Weyoun's got lethal on board. Or sorry, Sobek has lethal on board. And yeah, they're just going to call it. All right, good game. Sobek up 1 on the Qi'ra. Let's take a look at sideboards here. So Sobek has a lot of things for more grindy matchups. Devastator, 3rd Vigilance. He's got more top targets if he wants those for healing. Got the 3rd No Glory, or 2nd No Glory, sorry, to deal with Chewies that might come down. Pulse Return also, although I don't know if you want that many more like grindy things in this matchup, but maybe you do if you're worried about Spark Rebellions. So we'll see. We'll see. Eager Escort Fighter, I think, is also going to come in. I think you can make a case for bringing in everything out of this sideboard here from Sobek. But this is Weyoun's board. He's got Upgrade Hate, which Traders are in there. We'll see if how Weyoun comes down on the game here, because there's a game of like do I side in my Upgrade Hate if I think you're gonna side out your Bamboozles or your Traitoresses? So we'll see. AT Haulers in there against Control. That's typically not an ideal option. The one of Emphas, which is usually not the best card into this matchup, although sometimes it is. I got blown out by an Emphas. I had a PQ last weekend with Han. It was Han Yellow. 3rd Surprise Strike, I imagine that's going to be in there. All right. They're resourcing. So let's get started. This is a weird hand for Sobek, that's for sure. Looks like we see Confiscate there from Weyoun, so that did come in. And Traitorous stayed in there. All right. All right, Spark Rebellion here. I imagine it's going to be Barrage. Yep. Just a weird hand here. Not exactly like a, normal hand for Weyoun either. Is that salvage? I think that is salvage. Pull Falcons from the discard pile there. All right, so Weyoun resources Qi'ra, which to me implies he's going for Chewy on the ground here. Sobek has several options here. One of which is like open power the dark side. Which would be the line that beats Chewy. Alright, this is another one, which is lead with Pike Sentinel. And then potentially go for either power later or super laser attack. And it's gonna be super laser attack. Yeah, which makes more sense. Like if you were gonna power, you probably would have powered first action. All right, there's the Chewy. I don't know what I was saying. Like, Sobek can just kill Chewy here. He did not need the power to do that. I think it's just early, and for some reason I was thinking that he did. In fact, this line might even be better into Chewy than the line I was thinking was the Chewy line. It certainly sets up the Qi'ra kill onto Han as soon as he flips. Which, I mean, he won't necessarily flip this turn. But he could if we wanted to. All right. So Chewy trades for those two small units. Weyoun's got a couple options here. He can go, resource, flip Han, try for something. You can also just go Chewy on the ground again. Try to trade that for the Qi'ra. He can go like Falcon, resource with Han, and then play Chewy on the Falcon. But he knows, because he saw the hand, that there's so many ways to deal with Falcon if that goes down. All right, yep, just going to play a second Chewy. Force the trade into Qi'ra. And then Gunship's just going to get played out for fun there. And Sobek is now has double ramped. He's on 8 this turn. Weyoun's going into 6. No 7-drop in hand, which kind of hurts. Sobek's holding a Vader, which is really nice. Also just holding power for the Han flip. Falcon's gonna come down. I imagine it's gonna be immediately eagered. Yep. Alright, here's Han. Immediately gonna get powered. And then Waylay gonna bounce the gunship. Alright, and top deck Avenger. This one's looking like it's on the way out here. Sobek seems to be heading for 2-0. He's really done a great job of running Weyoun out of cards. He's used a bit more. Like, he's only got 3 of his own. But with 2 resources up, he's not even going to go for the Avenger now. He's just going to play Vader proactively. Which I probably would have waited for the Avenger line. But with Spark Rebellions in there, it's a bit riskier to do that. And going for Vader here is certainly fine. And now the Avengers set up for this turn. And boom. There we go. All right, salvage. That is salvage, right? Yeah, salvage. Oh, for home one. That's actually real nice. See, timely intervention resource there. That brings Sobek to 11, which means he can do like timely Avenger if the first one goes down. Or he's gonna waylay, which I'm probably just doing that. Yeah, timely Avenger. Timely, not in every build of Qi'ra, but yeah. So no matter what, both these die and the Avenger doesn't take any damage. That's how this works. With exactly 2 units on board. But yeah, so I was saying timely doesn't show up in every list, but when it does, it does. Devastator picked up in addition here for Sobek. Alright, Tantive, that's gonna theoretically be a Sentinel here. Devastator, just gonna blow it up though. And Sobek is now just going for base here. Hit for 5. Looks like he missed the Avenger trigger on the attack. Not that it really matters. So yeah, now two ways to lethal. Avenger and Devastator. Weyoun's got to have an answer to both of them. He can answer the Avenger with this CAD. I don't think he has anything to answer the Devastator. Nope. Good game. Congrats to Weyoun for making the top 16. Congrats to Sobek for taking it down, moving on to top 8. And thanks again to Weyoun for picking up a lot of the games that I can't get. Always helpful to have more content creators out there doing these live streams. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in, and remember to always take the initiative.